In Matthew 6:33, Jesus said, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all those things will be given to you as well." Now, Jesus spoke those famous words during his Sermon on the Mount, and the overall context of verse 33 was that those who belong to God's kingdom, they're not to chase after worldly wealth, nor be constantly worried about how they will provide for the necessities of life, because according to Jesus, those who seek the spiritual, God will provide for with the material. So in this Thursday morning Bible brief, I want us to quickly look together at these three main points. What is the kingdom of God? Why are we to pursue his righteousness? And how God provides for those who truly seek him. Hi everyone, I'm Mark Leeming and welcome to the Thursday Bible Brief, where the goal of this channel is to provide sound theology in a brief amount of time. So if that resonates with you, please do consider subscribing. So what is the kingdom of God? Or as Matthew would put it, the kingdom of heaven. Well, it was obviously very important to Jesus, very central to his teaching, because he mentioned it no less than 50 times in Matthew's gospel alone. And its origins can be traced all throughout the Old Testament, right to Genesis 3:15, where it says that the seeds of the woman will overcome the seeds of the serpent. And we can see it in God's covenants that he made with Abraham, Moses, and King David. And last but certainly not least, when he spoke through the prophets Jeremiah and Ezekiel, that one day he would write a new covenant. He would pour out his Spirit and write his laws upon our hearts. But here's the thing. When Jesus ushered in the kingdom of God, it wasn't what people were expecting, and that's because the kingdom of God is a spiritual kingdom confined within the physical kingdom of this world that won't be fully realized until Christ returns once again. It's what theologians describe as the here, but the not yet. And because the kingdom of God and the kingdom of this world operate on completely different principles, there's often conflicts between the two, with the result that those who belong to the kingdom of this world will persecute those who belong to the kingdom of God. Point number 2, why seek his righteousness? Now, it may seem rather strange or odd that Jesus apparently felt the need to add that caveat of pursuing both God's kingdom and his righteousness. And yet I think he was simply driving home the point that the two are inseparable. They're synonymous with each other. Living a holy life, living a life that is pleasing to God, pursuing truth, it's what the kingdom of God is all about. You simply cannot pursue the kingdom of God and deliberately pursue a lifestyle of unrighteousness at the same time. And it's this pursuit for God's righteousness that is often the flashpoint between those who belong to the kingdom of this world and those who belong to the kingdom of God. And it's why Jesus ended his Beatitudes by saying, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of unrighteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of God." Quickly and finally, point number 3, how God provides for those who truly seek him. Now, in teaching that we're not to chase after worldly wealth, nor be consumed with worry about the basic necessities of life, Jesus wasn't at all teaching that we should all simply give up our day jobs, go live as hermits out in the desert, and expect manna to fall from the sky. Obviously, we have to provide for our families. We have to be responsible and frugal with our money. Rather, he was more talking about priorities, our focus. Let me put it this way. How much time do you spend wishing you had more money versus wishing you could be more righteous? How much time do you spend thinking about temporal things versus eternal things? How much time and effort do you spend on your children's future college or university education versus preparing them to spiritually survive college or university? When we pursue the kingdom of God and his righteousness, our attitudes, our focus completely change. And just like the old hymn says, the things of this world will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace.